Hello, fellow Toastmasters and Internet at large. My name is Mike Carr. As I write this, I am an Advanced Communicator Gold Old Competent Leader. I'm going to be giving a presentation here on social media for Toastmasters, giving a couple examples of how we can be using social media within our Toastmasters environment. And I'm joined here tonight with Patrick Carr, who is a very early participant of Toastmasters Youth Leadership at the tender age of 2. So let me take you through my thoughts. So what is social media? Social media, simply put, are online sites where people interact with each other. So sites like Facebook, Twitter, Google Plus are all examples of this. And there's lots more examples, and if you look at my previous presentation, you'll see some of those. The point is, people do and use social media because people trust friends more than they trust advertisements. So if you see an ad in the paper for, a type of flooring, you're way less likely to purchase that than if a friend said to you, hey, check out this flooring, I used it in my house, it looked great. Now, social media is only one piece of the public relations puzzle. The other parts still are important. It really is important to have a website of some kind. It really is important to have contact information, a phone number, an email address, something that people can use to get a hold of you. But social media provides one of the pieces of this puzzle. Now I want to give you an example of where social media really pays off, and that is in the power of a good news story. Prince George Toastmasters uses a program, the Outstanding Toastmaster program, which TI has run for years. And this year we decided we were going to try something different. We decided that we wanted to find some way of recognizing some of the younger members, some of the newer members. And so we came up with a little bit of an adaptation on that called Rookie of the Year. And basically we would score the points the same way as the Outstanding Toastmaster, but we would only select from people that had been in the club for a year. So it was a silly little thing. We thought we'd try it out. So we went home that night and we shared that photo, we shared that story of Darcy winning that Rookie of the Year award. And it went out initially to an audience of 25 people. 25 people were part of that Facebook page. And, it seems like a rather small group, and you say, what can 25 people do? Well, it doesn't take much poking around Facebook, just looking at public information, nothing private, not hacking anybody's account or anything. But those 25 people had a friend network of more than 5,000. And these are people without overlap. These are people some people that work at different jobs. These are people that make different amounts of money, different age groups, an entire mix, a hodgepodge of people out there. And in fact, because of this photo going out, there were 6 people that had interacted with that photo in some way, shape, or form. Clicked on comment, clicked on like, clicked on share. And based on those 6 interactions alone, it added an additional 1,000 people. Now, these numbers are low, definitely low, because most people have their privacy turned up and it's hard to see how many friends they have, and we'd be probably snooping to really get that information. But we can tell that there was at least another 1,000 people that hit. And right away, we started getting inquiries from people. We started getting comments, we started getting private messages, we started getting chats happening on Facebook, and people started asking and saying, hey, wait a second, why did you join Toastmasters, and when did you get involved, and why is Darcy winning this award? And, Darcy, I've always thought you were a great speaker. Why would you be going to Toastmasters? And we quite naturally were able to have this conversation with people about this event. And in a practical sense, in the numbers, it caused a big spike in our web traffic. Like, we tripled web traffic pretty much overnight in terms of what we were seeing on our website. And that led directly to a lot more inquiries there as well. So we were fielding at least a couple inquiries a day from people for a good couple weeks after this article aired. And just based on a normal awards night, taking a photo, posting it up there with a little bit of a story to it. And that had that kind of an impact. Now, I don't want to understate the other things that we were doing in the club at the time. We have an active membership program, we have an active education program. But let me just give you some real numbers here. Last year in March, we were under the club coach threshold. We were less than 12 members in the club. And as a result of some initiatives and as a result of the traffic and the energy that was generated from the power of a story, we brought ourselves from less than 12 to 24 members in a bit over 6 months. For the first time since electronic records have been in place, we hit the top 10 clubs in District 21 on Highest Education Awards. First time ever. And for a brief period of time, for 2 or 3 months, we led the division DCP standings. So I don't mean to say that there wasn't other things going on in the background. Like I say, we've got a very good membership program, we've got an active education program, but one story can be that spark that can ignite things for you. And for us, this story with Darcy really was. Now, some things about social media. It's definitely a key element of public relations, but it is unusual in that with normal public relations, you can have a single person stand up and kind of organize all the ads and do all the legwork and make it happen. But social media functions a bit differently in the sense that the interactions of the many contribute more. So if I share a story on our club page and nobody does anything with it, it tends to go to a rather small audience. Where it takes off is when people interact with it, when people click that like button, when people click on comment, when people click on share. So writing a story that is compelling and that people want to interact with is, I think, important in all of this. And having a group of people that are actually interacting with these stories is important as well. Again, I can't stress it enough, it is only one element of a marketing education membership puzzle, triangle if you prefer, but it is an easy way to unify the club, it's an easy way to celebrate success, and to try to get some more members. So what sort of things are worth sharing? Well, here's a quick list of things that I've found effective in the past or I think have value. First and foremost, welcoming new members into the club. It can seem like a small thing, but you never know who that person's connected to. It's a little pat on the back for them, and it encourages them to be involved with that social committee really quickly, really early on. It encourages them to click on that Facebook page and click on like, which is really important. I think icebreaker speeches, I think that we can't emphasize enough how hard it is for people to take on that first presentation. It's one thing to get them through the door, that's a big step. It's another thing to get them to join as a member, that's a big step. That icebreaker is a huge step. And it's the least that we can do sometimes. And whether it's a picture of them, getting an icebreaker pin, whether it's a picture of them standing in front of the room, whether it's just sharing that their story was meaningful, I think it's really an important thing and it's an easy thing to tap into. I think the 10th speech in the Competent Communicator Manual, bar none, favorite project, love to hear it, and I've just heard some amazing, amazing stories. That's another really good one to highlight with Facebook. I think photos of any kind, I don't know why it's that picture is 1,000 words thing, but photos really get people's attention. They catch the eye. They capture those moments in your club's history. Special events, and Spruce Capital Toastmasters is really good for this. Running special events, Hawaiian shirt night, Halloween, Christmas parties. I wouldn't even be aware of them if it wasn't for the fact they put them on through social media. Club achievements. So when you get your 3rd DCP point, 5th, 7th, 9th, whatever way you're doing it, when you get your 20 members, when you get whatever it is that is a goal for your particular club, those are good things. But above all else, any story that is sincere and heartfelt is worth sharing. And there is nothing worse than false, contrived, boring, we had another meeting, we had another meeting, we had another meeting. But anything. Give me something to latch on to. Give me something that I, as the reader, am interested in. Because remember, we're trying to force people to interact. We want them to click the button. We want them to click comment. We want them to click like. So something that is sincere and heartfelt is the best way to go about that. So what do I want to leave you with here? Well, I want you to get something started. Whether you're a member, whether you're an executive, whatever your involvement is, I want to see you get out there and join some of these groups and start some of your own. I think that it's got huge value to all of us. And sharing resources, I think, is really key. Like networking between us and sharing what's working, what's not working, challenges that we're facing. Together we're strong, divided we're weak. I think celebrating success, I really want to hear. I know there's a whole bunch of people that got educational awards this last year, and I know because I tend to watch Toastmasters educational listing, because they put a public list out of everybody gets an award in the district. But I'd like to see that more. I'd like to, if there's 5 or 6 people every year getting awards at clubs, and we don't promote that, we don't share that, we don't like that, we don't put it out there, and I think we could do more with that. I really do think that we can be doing more to recognize when those events are occurring. So I'm going to leave you with some contact information for me, but what I want you to do is I want you to try to take on something. If your club doesn't have a Facebook page, try to get one started. If your club does have a Facebook page, become part of it, and certainly become part of these resources that people are trying to create, like Laura Honeyman's Division D page, I think, is a really neat idea. And District 21 has got a really good Facebook page. It's lots of interesting information there. So try to latch on to those resources. So here we go. Here's some ways of getting a hold of me. If you're interested in our club, facebook.com, PG Toastmasters, www.pgtoastmasters.com, or search for Prince George Toastmasters. Good way of getting a hold of us. If you're looking to get a hold of me, well, I'm Pacho Canadian on just about every social network out there. But in particular, my website, wiki.pachogrande.com. Email's up there as well, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, you name it. You want to talk to me on Ravelry, on Pinterest, on whatever you want, you get a hold of me. And I really think that even if we don't have a concrete idea sometimes how to take that step, that just getting out there and interacting and networking and becoming a more cohesive group is a good thing. So if you have a question you want to ask, if you have something positive you want to share, and if you got some criticism that you need to get off your chest, then get a hold of me. So thank you for the opportunity to share this with you. I really enjoyed having the opportunity to do a virtual presentation for a second time, and I'm going to turn control over to whomever your chair is. Thanks.